Hey guys, welcome to Connecting the Dots, the channel where we follow the breadcrumbs and try to predict where disruptions will take us. On July 1st, 2024, Elon Musk made a simple gesture that sent shockwaves through the Tesla investing world. He followed Uber founder and ex-CEO Travis Kalanick on X. This ignited speculation about Kalanick joining Tesla as head of Robotaxi, and Elon quickly denied this. But make no mistake, that follow wasn't just a friendly nod. It was a signal, heard loud and clear in Uber's headquarters, the modern equivalent of war drums beating. Uber investors like Bill Gurley and Brad Gerstner think Tesla will cooperate with Uber for a perfect win-win. Good for them, but I think otherwise. I'm convinced Tesla has its sights set on Uber's turf, and they're not coming to play nice. If I were an Uber investor, I'd be losing sleep. I won't bore you by repeating what everyone else is saying. Instead, I'll provide a complete game plan for how Tesla could wage war on Uber and win. If you enjoy my channel, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay notified. A massive thank you to our newest patrons, FabiMag1, Martin V, George H, Marshall, Dennis C, and Zara L. You guys rock. If you too want to help keep these videos coming, there's a link in the description. Now buckle up and get ready, because Tesla is about to disrupt the daylights out of Uber, and disruptions are never boring. Chapter 1. The Buying Uber Fallacy. In my previous video, I showed how Tesla could disrupt Uber through significantly lower costs and much higher revenues than ride-hailing experts such as Bill Gurley and Brad Gerstner expect. The analysis painted a clear picture of Tesla's potential to foundationally disrupt the ride-hailing industry. If you want to delve into the profitability edge, there's a link in the card above. Now let's explore a different angle. A while ago, Tesla analyst Gary Black posted this question on X. I'm not sure why Tesla just doesn't buy Uber to get into autonomous ride-hailing and get all the data from its platform of 137 million consumers who take 25 million trips per day. I do understand Gary's perspective. Uber's massive user base and trip data could really jumpstart Tesla's ride-hailing business. However, as stated in a reply thread I posted, I very respectfully disagree with Gary's conclusion. As shown in my previous video, Tesla can completely disrupt Uber's business. Using the correct apples-to-apples math, even the current Model 3 costs Tesla less than half of what investors like Bill Gurley and Brad Gerstner claim is enough to completely disrupt Uber. To see how that happens, watch my previous video after watching the current one. But anyway, when you're out to disrupt an industry, you don't pay full price for a company whose value you are set to abolish. Consider Netflix buying Blockbuster at its peak just to acquire their customer base, or Apple purchasing Nokia at its prime for its loyal customers. Both scenarios would have been financially disastrous and unnecessary for the disruptors. Similarly, buying Uber doesn't make sense for Tesla. Instead, I always thought that Tesla should buy Lyft, which for less than 4% of Uber's value could give them as much of a jumpstart. However, things changed, and they don't even need to do that. If Uber's main asset is its user base, Tesla can gain a similar advantage almost for free. You know how Elon's companies all come together? For example, xAI's Grok will probably become the AI interface for commanding Tesla's cars and robotaxis. And the Boring Company just drilled a tunnel to the other side of the road from Giga Texas. Similarly, Elon Musk's ownership of X could become Tesla's secret weapon in the ride-hailing war. By integrating a ride-hailing button into X's interface, Tesla gains instant access to hundreds of millions of users worldwide. Why pay $150 billion for Uber's 137 million users when you can reach an even larger audience at minimal cost? Now's a good time to give a slow clap shout out to the experts who booed Elon for burning billions of dollars on buying Twitter. The Everything app is much more than a social media network, and I'll be here to remind them when robotaxis arrive on X. This leveraging of existing assets to disrupt an established industry is just the beginning. In the following chapters, we'll dive deep into Tesla's potential strategy to not just compete with Uber, but to fundamentally reshape the ride-hailing market. From using X as a secret weapon to a city-by-city conquest plan, we'll explore how Tesla could bring Uber to its knees. With the content I consume plus music and phone calls, earbuds are a vital part of my everyday life. A few months ago, I discussed my latest pair, Raycon's Everyday Earbuds. Their sound made my wife say, "It reminded me of how much I love this song." And with stylish looks and long playtime, these quickly became my favorite pair. So when Raycon, the sponsor of this video, launched a new version, I couldn't wait to get them. The new ones keep the clean sound and everything I loved in the previous version, and add a slimmer case that fits better in my front pocket, multi-point connectivity, and active noise cancellation. And with the new quick charge feature, Just 10 minutes of charging give 90 minutes of playing time. Raycon also offers beautiful case covers to protect and add style. Mine is in galaxy color and looks very cool. If you're considering earbuds as a gift, the case would be an excellent addition. Click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/ctdots to get 15% off your Raycon purchase, plus free shipping. Raycon offers a 30-day risk-free trial and a 1-year warranty, so you have nothing to lose. Visit buyraycon.com/ctdots and experience them yourself. Chapter 2. X marks the spot. Having access to X enables Tesla to ramp operations quickly without buying Uber or Lyft. So let's dive deeper into Tesla's secret weapon. While X is mostly a social network, its eyes are set on becoming the everything app. And regarding Tesla's Robotaxis, X should become Tesla's gateway to dominating the ride-hailing industry. By integrating a simple Robotaxi button into the X app, Tesla will instantly gain access to a massive potential customer base. This strategy leverages X's hundreds of millions of active users, providing Tesla with an immediate advantage over traditional ride-hailing apps. Moreover, X users could hail rides without leaving their favorite social app. While this seems trivial and unimportant, this frictionless experience could be a game-changer. Happiness researcher Sean H. Orr's 20-second rule shows that even small changes in effort can significantly impact behavior. For example, taking a guitar out of its case is easy, yet you are much more likely to practice your guitar playing if it's ready on a stand rather than waiting in its case. Psychologically, having a Robotaxi order button built into X removes a crucial barrier to use. Just click a button to summon a Robotaxi, and while you continue reading and posting on X, a status bar will keep you informed on the arrival of your ride. Tesla will likely offer both one-click ordering and detailed screens. For long rides or ones with special requirements, you will enter the detailed screens like the one Tesla already showed. But for most rides, a single click could summon the nearest Robotaxi. The passengers will simply tell it their destination when it arrives. This streamlined process takes advantage of the interchangeability of autonomous vehicles. Unlike Uber's need to match passengers with drivers willing to head their way, any Robotaxi with enough charge can take passengers wherever their destination. To gauge interest in this concept, I ran a poll on X asking, if X had a Robotaxi hailing button in your region, would you try it? The results were overwhelming. Almost everyone, both current Uber users and non-users alike, said they would give Tesla's Robotaxis a try. While my followers in X are far from representative, their enthusiasm suggests that Tesla could quickly build a user base rivaling or surpassing Uber's, all without the massive expense of an acquisition. It's a brilliant example of Elon's companies leveraging existing assets to disrupt an established industry. But the advantages of using X go far beyond just access to users. Tesla can get X to leverage user data for targeted marketing, offering personalized ride suggestions and promotions. Real-time trip updates can be seamlessly integrated into X's notification system, and users sharing their Robotaxi experiences on X will provide organic marketing for Tesla's service. Although X should be Tesla's main portal for generating rides, Tesla will probably provide separate ride-hailing access via the Tesla app or a new dedicated one. This will enable non-X users to order rides without having any social network functionalities. As a side note, we are used to Elon showing the way and others later following. For example, when Elon fired 3/4 of Twitter, the media showed this as crazy. Yet a few months later, most tech companies copied and considerably downsized as well. Similarly, it is likely that shortly after Tesla's move, Uber and Lyft will also team up with platforms like Facebook or Instagram to offer ride-hailing features through their apps as well. As Tesla's strategy unfolds, one thing is clear. X marks the spot where Uber's dominance might just come to an end. Chapter 3. Dominate and Conquer. Tesla's about to enter the ride-hailing arena, but let's face it, they can't match Uber's global presence overnight. Even with some Tesla owners joining the network, building a fleet large enough to compete everywhere simultaneously is a tall order. Although I expect Cybercab production to ramp up quicker than anything seen before, producing enough Cybercabs and even regular Model 3s and Ys to take on Uber will take time, and spreading themselves too thin could lead to subpar service and frustrated customers. So what's the smart play? Concentrate the fleet and dominate one area at a time. It's not about being everywhere, it's about being the best in every city you operate. Now here's the kicker. Most of Uber's profits come from just 6 major cities. That's right, only 6. By targeting these urban cash cows, Tesla can hit Uber where it hurts, without needing a massive global fleet. Picture this. You wake up one morning in New York, San Francisco, or London and find out that Tesla has flooded the city with cars and there's a Robotaxi on almost every corner. You enter X and learn that Tesla has started operating Robotaxis in your city and is offering X users 3 free rides. Free is easy for them. As with no driver and with building their cars themselves, Tesla's marginal costs are a fraction of Uber's. So you click on the new ride-hailing button, and regardless of where you need to go, the nearest Robotaxi quickly arrives and takes you to your destination safely and securely. Minimal wait times, superior service, your personal YouTube and Spotify accounts on the main screen, and cheaper rides to boot. Who wouldn't switch? This saturation strategy is a triple threat. It ensures top-notch service in key markets, so people will move to Tesla. It enables Tesla to quickly build its crucial route database, gathering data and shifting Robotaxi locations on different days. And on top of it all, it puts immense pressure on Uber in the cities which matter most. As Tesla builds their database, they won't need to flood the city as heavily and will be able to shift cars to the next location. And as they conquer these cities one by one, they'll refine their playbook, iron out the kinks, and build a rock-solid foundation for global expansion. Here's the real gut punch for Uber. Without these 6 cities, they're in serious trouble. Tesla doesn't need to beat Uber everywhere. They just need to snatch these golden geese. Do that, and Uber's empire starts to crumble. In the ride-hailing game, it's not about being everywhere. It's about being unbeatable where it counts. And Tesla adopting a city-by-city strategy looks like a checkmate in the making. Chapter 4. The Robotaxi Army. A city-by-city strategy is powerful, but it begs the question, where does this Robotaxi army come from? The answer lies in Tesla's unique position as both a car maker and a tech company. To dominate Uber's top markets, Tesla doesn't need to match their global fleet. They just need to focus on key cities. New York City, for instance, has around 90,000 Uber vehicles. San Francisco might have 50,000, while Phoenix could be operating with about 20,000. Other major markets like London, Los Angeles, and Chicago likely fall within this range. However, these numbers are misleading as some drivers are only occasional. A more important metric is the number of Uber cars available during rush hours, which is roughly half the number of drivers. For example, San Francisco has around 20 to 25,000 Uber drivers active during rush hour. LA, Chicago, and Toronto numbers are even smaller. Before we start calculating how much it would take Tesla to build and field these cars, let's count the cars it gets for free. As explained in my previous video, Tesla's leases don't have a buying option. So in 2025, Tesla should take hold of roughly 24,000 off-lease Model 3s and Ys in the USA alone. Fielding these for Robotaxi duties is just moving assets from one line of the balance sheet to another and should cost the company next to nothing. So Tesla should have enough free cars to cover San Francisco without spending a dime on production. But where do they get cars to cover the other cities? First off, every Tesla on the road is a potential soldier in this war. With a simple over-the-air update, any compatible Tesla could join the Robotaxi fleet. Owners could opt in, letting their cars earn money for them when they're doing other things. It's like Uber meets Airbnb, adding cars to Tesla's fleet, no assembly required. But off-lease and user-owned cars are not enough to challenge Uber. So what about the cars that still need to be produced? Wouldn't building them bankrupt Tesla? Let's say that for starters, Tesla needs 100,000 cars. At $50,000 a pop, that would mean spending $5 billion for just a few cities, right? Not exactly, because first, the current base Model 3 only costs Tesla around $32,000, and a Cybercab should cost significantly less. As production of the purpose-built Cybercab ramps up, these inexpensive, dedicated Robotaxis will become the backbone of Tesla's fleet. And here's where it gets interesting, because Tesla's factories aren't just churning out cars, they're printing money. Each Robotaxi that rolls off the line is a revenue-generating asset. The economics are mind-boggling. Uber's average revenue per car is around $120,000 annually. Of that, Uber pockets about $30,000, while the driver takes home $90,000. Not bad, right? Now listen to this. Uber investors like Bill Gurley and Brad Gerstner assume Robotaxis will earn less. But as usual, the experts are wrong. As I showed in my previous video, Tesla's Robotaxis are poised to earn significantly more, because besides doing rides, they will earn money even when parked during off-peak hours. This AI-driven approach allows for dynamic fleet management. Robotaxis can reposition themselves based on predicted demand, ensuring there's always a car nearby when you need one. It's not just about having a lot of cars, it's about having them in the right place at the right time. And let's not forget the charging infrastructure. Tesla's supercharger network, already extensive, could be expanded and optimized for robotaxi use. Imagine a fleet that never sleeps, with cars rotating through charging stations during off-peak hours, ready to hit the road when demand spikes. When just sitting idle, the cars can charge or earn money as part of Tesla's virtual power plant doing grid support. They can even do distributed computing such as crypto mining. The possibilities are endless. And let's not forget that without a human driver, operational costs plummet. But let's be conservative. Let's ignore these revenue streams. With ride-hailing duties alone, each Model 3 robotaxi should earn roughly twice its cost annually in pure profit. This means that each car produced would cover its cost within a few months of operation and then continue operating for several years, earning huge software-like margins. It's a snowball effect. Each car added to the fleet not only pays for itself, but generates capital to expand further. It's not just growth, it's exponential growth. This isn't just a ride-hailing service, it's a self-improving, self-expanding transportation ecosystem. Each car added to the fleet makes the whole system more efficient, more profitable, and harder for competitors to catch up. This isn't just disruption, it's economic warfare. Tesla's not just entering the ride-hailing market, they're redefining it. Every robotaxi deployed is another nail in Uber's coffin. Uber is counting cars, but Tesla, they're building an army. And in this war, the robots are winning. Chapter 5, Uber's downward spiral. As we've seen, Tesla's multi-pronged strategy from leveraging X as a ride-hailing platform to building a self-expanding robotaxi fleet sets the stage for a dramatic reshaping of the ride-hailing industry. Now let's explore the potential fallout for Uber as this plan unfolds. As Tesla's robotaxi fleet grows, Uber faces a perfect storm. It begins with a price war. Tesla's lower operational costs allow them to undercut Uber's prices significantly. Uber is forced to lower fares to compete, eating into their already thin margins. To utilize their fleet, Tesla's off-peak rates would be extremely low, not much higher than the cost of electricity and keeping the cars clean. This price drop triggers a cascade effect. With fewer rides and lower fares, full-time Uber drivers start seeing their incomes plummet. With very few off-peak rides, drivers shift to working peak hours only. Many shift to part-time or leave the platform entirely, seeking more stable employment. Some even switch to Tesla, either as robotaxi owners or in other roles supporting the growing fleet. In a way, Uber is forced back to its origins, where private car owners took passengers when these were headed in the direction they were personally heading. As experienced drivers leave, Uber's service quality takes a hit. Riders start noticing longer wait times, less reliable pickups, and potentially lower quality drivers. The smooth, professional experience that built Uber's brand begins to erode, just as Tesla's service takes off. The problem compounds during peak hours. With fewer full-time drivers, Uber struggles to meet demand when it's needed most. Rush hour becomes a nightmare for both Uber and its customers. Meanwhile, Tesla's AI-driven fleet smoothly scales to meet demand spikes. Faced with longer waits and inconsistent service, Uber users start experimenting with Tesla's Robotaxis. Some find it through their X account, others try it by word of mouth, many try it out just for the kicks of riding in one of these new autonomous cars that just flooded the city. Many find the experience superior, consistent, clean, and cost-effective. Slowly but surely, customers begin to migrate. This creates a vicious cycle for Uber. Fewer customers mean even less work for drivers, accelerating the exodus. This leads to even worse service, driving more customers away. It's a downward spiral that's hard to break. Starting in key cities, the very ones Tesla targeted first, Uber's market share begins to erode rapidly. They're forced to spend more on driver incentives and customer acquisition, further straining their finances. But it's like trying to plug a leaking dam with their fingers. For every problem they solve, two more appear. As the situation worsens, investors start to panic. Uber's stock price begins to fall, making it harder for them to raise capital to fight back against Tesla's incursion. Financial pressure mounts, limiting Uber's options for a counterattack. A few days ago, rumor spread that Tesla is delaying its 8/8 Robotaxi day to October, and on this rumor alone, Uber and Lyft stocks both jumped 5%. If this happens when most analysts think robotaxis are years away, imagine how hard Uber's stock will crash as robotaxis start filling US and global roads, and revenue starts falling. Adding to their woes, regulators take notice. With drivers leaving en masse, questions arise about Uber's business model and treatment of workers. Legal and compliance headaches add to the mountain of problems Uber faces. Perhaps most damaging is the shift in public perception. Once seen as innovative disruptors, Uber starts to be viewed as outdated compared to Tesla's high-tech robotaxis. The brand that once represented the future of transportation now seems like a relic of the past. This downward spiral could happen surprisingly quickly. In the gig economy, network effects work both ways. Just as Uber once grew exponentially by attracting drivers and riders, they could shrink just as fast if the balance tips the other way. Uber's only hope might be to pivot rapidly, perhaps partnering with other automakers to develop their own autonomous fleet. But with Tesla's head start in AI and electric vehicle production, catching up would be a monumental task. In the end, Uber might find itself disrupted by the very type of technological innovation it once used to upend the taxi industry. It's a stark reminder that in the world of tech, today's disruptor can quickly become tomorrow's disrupted. As Tesla's vision becomes reality, we're not just witnessing the potential fall of a ride-hailing giant, we're seeing the birth of a new paradigm in urban transportation. One where AI-driven electric vehicles don't just replace taxis, but fundamentally alter how we think about car ownership, city planning, and mobility itself. And a paradigm where cars are far more than just cars. They are shape-shifting, autonomous robots which moonlight as grid support batteries, compute platforms, and a host of other uses. The road ahead is clear. Tesla isn't just aiming to compete in the ride-hailing market, they're entirely rewriting the rules of the game. And in this new world, Uber's playbook might just become obsolete. As we wrap up this deep dive into Tesla's potential disruption of the ride-hailing industry, one thing is clear: the future of urban transportation is on the brink of a revolution. But what do you think? Is Tesla's strategy foolproof, or does Uber have an ace up its sleeve? Are Bill Gurley and Brad Gerstner right that, despite losing the driver, Tesla's margins should only be slightly higher than Uber's, or are they missing the big picture? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And without patrons, this channel wouldn't be possible. So please consider supporting me on patreon.com/connectingodots for as little as $1 a month. Besides supporting me, you'll get ad-free access to all my videos, as well as a monthly patron-exclusive video. Don't forget to visit buyraycon.com/ctdots to experience the everyday earbuds yourself. Please follow me on X, where I am connecting ODots. Until next time, I am connecting the dots, and you are amazing.